you. We will start the session sharp at 1:05, but in the meanwhile, do use this opportunity to network with one another, to get to know each other, and possibly then strike a conversation to have a business connection. We have seen in the past that a lot of members, when they introduce themselves, they realize that there are similarities, or they're able to kind of eventually then get into a business partnership. So do make the most of this time and this opportunity. Nice to meet all of you. I can see that you'll have started using the chat box. One thing I wanted to let you know is that this session is designed exclusively for you to learn, or for you to understand how to use the platform GlobalLinker. So feel free to kind of stop me at any point, ask me questions, or even any feedback, queries, comments that you want to share. Because only when it becomes an interactive session will you be able to make the most of this. And honestly, you don't have to wait to the end of the session to ask your questions. You can ask them at any point in time, and I'll be sure to address them, even if it's not done during, but towards the end. Just one thing to note is that it'll be good if you use the Q&A box to ask any of your questions instead of the chat box. There are times we might miss out on the questions given the volume of the messages that come in the chat box. So if there's anything specific that you'd like to get answered by us, then do use the Q&A section to ask your question. Now, one more thing I would like to tell you all is that the format of this session is to kind of keep the talking, or keep the initial part a little short and leave a lot more room and space for questions. This is intentional for you to be able to kind of solve any of your queries. You could ask anything ranging from how do I make a connection on GlobalLinker, or what do I do if I want to get into exports? Is there any platform? Or what do I do if I've been posting a lot but I'm not getting any comments? So we can analyze them and take examples and solve for that. So again, good afternoon to all of you, and it's really nice to meet all of you here today. We will start the session in a minute, but in the meanwhile, do introduce yourself on the chat box. So are there any participants here today who have rejoined? Can I, have you attended any sessions in the past that GlobalLinker has hosted? It'll be nice to see if you can just reply with yes or no. Yes, from Pranav, that's right. I'm a new joiner, no. New to this event, great. So just like how you answered the question now, I will be constantly also asking your questions. Do use the chat and reply with yes, no, maybe, or even just your feedback or comments. Okay, so we'll get started now. It's 1:05. It's very nice to meet all of you here. I'll take a moment and share my screen. Great. So I hope you can all see my screen now. I'll just introduce myself. I'm Malvika Jaggi, and I'm representing GlobalLinker today. The idea of this session is to keep it as interactive as possible so that we all learn and grow with each other. There was a research conducted recently that mentioned that 40% of businesses will die in the next 10 years. So if we don't learn to adjust and accommodate new technologies, new systems, new digital mechanisms, we don't want to miss out on any of these and die out. So this is the reason we're here together today, to kind of learn what are the new ways in which you can digitize your business. Okay. So what are we really going to cover today is basically a broad overview of GlobalLinker. I will be showing you a live demo as well. Then we'll move on to why is it important to have an online profile, what is the importance of it, and how do you get started with it, how do you make a rich profile. And of course, then we'll move on to why, when, where, and how to sell online, how do you get started, and then how do you attract your current customers and then expand to new customers, and then we'll leave space for a Q&A round. So let's get started now. How many of you here today already know about GlobalLinker or know what this platform has for you? Do use the chat box to tell us your understanding of the platform. Okay, so let me kind of tell you what GlobalLinker stands for. You saw about this on LinkedIn. Okay, that brings me to a point that so just like the way you use LinkedIn for jobs or getting work updates, and you probably use Facebook to make new friends, GlobalLinker is a platform or a world of opportunities only related to business. So it's a community of business owners like yourself who are networking with each other, interacting about sourcing new raw material, or appointing distributors, engaging with agents, or let's say even sharing about the awards, achievements, any new product launches. So it's a B2B interaction platform, and the community is free to join, but it is an invite only program. So it's nice to see that you've all been invited by a large organization. This truly is your online business circle. So let me now show you a glimpse of how the platform looks like, what are the kind of features that you can use. I'll take a moment again. I'll go into my profile so that you can see how that looks like, and you can go back and explore your profile. Okay, so this is how the profile looks like. People are talking about their products, their talking about workshops, attending various events, talking about how they have knowledge in certain domains or what they're selling, putting aesthetic photographs about their products, their services, or even telling how they're looking for a seller or a buyer. And then you can see, for example, there are people responding to say this is what they're looking at doing. So let me again now just show you a little about the platform. There is a section called articles, and this is a very key area for you to focus on, either in terms of consuming content or even in terms of sharing rich information. Now, I lay emphasis on the sharing part, because the minute you start telling other businesses about what your expertise is, where your interest lies, what you know in and out, that's when the readers or the viewers start gaining trust, start building that credibility, that your brand name starts establishing in their mind. And that's when over a period of time you start getting to know other businesses and then striking a deal, as against just doing promotional posts that I deal in XYZ. that becomes very promotional and people tend to ignore it. So here you can see a variety of organizations ranging from Federation of Indian Export Organizations that gives every single week trade alerts, or there is Vakil Search who actually gives in all legal requirements, everything you need to keep in mind for in relation to law. Or we also write a lot of content for you to consume, but users like yourself, for example, Mr. Pramod Veturi, he is a domain expert in learning and development, and he makes sure to post a lot of articles in this space. People remember his name, his organization, read his articles, and then go about interacting with him. So this is your space to actually write information that you want your viewers to read and build that trust on your business. I'm just scrolling to show you how various users are using it. So this is where you will either read something you want to know about in the business or the industry or the patterns or the trends. For example, the Retailers Association of India gives a lot of insights in the retail industry. And like I said, Federation of Indian Export Organizations gives a lot of export related tips and alerts and trade alerts. So use this space to consume as well as share. Now, just moving on quickly to the next section is basically the groups. We all are used to this section because we've used it on other social platforms. We join like-minded, a lot of like-minded people come together to join groups. Now it ranges from, let's say you are interested in fashion, so you would join a fashion group, or you want some accounting related services, then you would join that. Or even, let's say the groups currently range from even BSc sharing about what you can do to get listed, or there is a food products. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Join groups of your interest, pose your questions and seek for answers, as well as you could also write what you feel is relevant for the question that's posed, and then interact with the businesses on the groups. So now moving to the next section is the events bit. You would have registered for this event as well using this section, but here is a space which is curated of all the events happening in the small and medium enterprise industry. So if you're a business owner that wants to keep a tab on what are the various events that are happening across the industry, how do I create an e-store, how do I build a B2B catalog, how do I, let's say, even go for a NutriWalk session. So you need to keep a tab on these on this section. But more importantly, also, if you as an organization are hosting an event and you would want to tell the SME community about your event, invite registrations, then you can post your event here using this create an event section and invite registrations. You will have an exclusive page where you can actually promote that with your friends and family, and also get in others that are on the platform already. So again, now moving to the next section, we'll come to the catalog section in a little while, but let me show you what the offers section looks like. Now, what is offers? We have actually curated or put together a list of various market leaders from the industry who give specialized services. Now, ranging from even just getting an office space or creating a current account, let's say just getting a module in Tally, or even any SEO related offers, any design that you would like to get made. So there is a host of offers over here. What we have done is we have pre-negotiated with them for you, so that you don't have to take the hassle, and it's like a one-stop shop for you to see all your let's say everything that you have during your journey of business growth. So you can come over here, explore, and go ahead and avail these services. Now, coming to the section on the online store, which is a widely used feature. At GlobalLinker, like you know, we have over 4 lakh plus businesses interacting with each other, but over 20,000 plus sellers today are using this online store capability, a very rich capability with a lot of features. Let me also just show you a couple of examples to give you a flavor of it. This is a brand in the south in Telangana who provides livelihood to the slums of women, to the women of the slums. And you can see here how she's showcasing bestsellers, how they're talking about their products. They're also doing, let's say, a newsletter, a social feed. So you also can have your own website like this. In fact, you can create it on your own free of cost, in a matter of under 30 minutes. If you have your catalog ready with you, you could add a section on what are the empowerment stories, add testimonials, add videos, all of it. Let me show you also. It's not limited if you are a product business or if you are a B2C business, only then you can have something like this. But here is a brand which is Savisa Beveling Machines, who actually showcases, instead of just showing an informational based website, they're allowing their customers to transact with them. A lot of times users come back and say that I don't want to disclose my price, or I'm not comfortable sharing my price with everybody across the platform, or let's say I have a very customized product. So here is a solution that Savisa also uses, where some products, they allow the pricing to be shown and allow the customer to buy the product, versus some which are customized. They say price on request and they allow you to send an inquiry. So whether you are a B2B business, B2C, industrial goods, no matter what category of business you are in, you could digitize your product catalog. And it's not limited to products, it is also for services. So just taking an example, there is a pest control service, that brand that has created their own store. They bucket all their services as products and showcase, and actually also then invite their customers to book appointments with them. So coming back to now, this is how the online store section looks like. And let me also just touch upon the connections bit. So once you have actually registered, what you need to do is build connections with other business owners. You go to the add connections section, see who is of interest, who can be your prospect customer, go ahead, apply filters, and then target the right customer. Let me now just go back to our presentation and maybe also address questions as they come. Okay, so now that we've seen about the platform, the idea of GlobalLinker is to help you as business owners with two goals. One is to make your business discoverable, and the second is to make it transaction ready. And I'll come to it in a little while about how you can become transaction ready and why it's important. But before we move on to why you should actually be a digital business, let me ask you a question. As business owners, resources are limited and we really need to use them wisely. So let me ask you all, what is your most limited resource? In the past, we've seen a lot of companies say, I don't have enough time. Some of them say, I don't have enough money. So what is your limited resource? Use the chat box and let us know. Okay, I can see somebody saying bandwidth. Absolutely. Capacity. I'd request you all to not send me personal messages, but use it on where everybody else can see it as well. Time. Okay, so we realize that resources are limited, and therefore it's important to plan and properly and invest your resources in the right direction. So in the session ahead, I'll also show you what are the various channels and ways in which you can actually tell your customers that you are ready to service them, no matter where they are, what they want, but how do they come to you. And let me also just ask you another question to emphasize upon why networking. Why should one network? So just draw a tree quickly. In under 5 seconds, draw a tree. It can be on paper, in your mind, anything. Draw a tree. So I'm sure over 95% of us here in this room would have drawn a tree just like the way we were taught as kids. 2 lines for barks and then a cloud on top to show the bush. Is that right? We did that, right? That was the easiest way to draw a tree. But if we all sat down as a group and we had to draw trees, if it was a competition where we were all in groups, I am sure 100% all of us would have been as creative as possible, as out of the box. We would have thought about putting fruits, we would have colored it, we would have done a variety of things to actually make the tree wonderful. And that honestly is the power of networking. Whether or not the other person is giving you ideas, networking actually brings that spark within you. So if we all were to meet or even just put in any challenge that a particular business is facing, and all 10 of us were to give out answers about how to solve that, the business owner himself will be able to then identify that what is the right way to do it, how I should probably think of it differently. So a lot of times we get stuck in a very routine or a mundane way of approaching problems, and networking actually helps you ignite that spark, and collectively we then achieve more. So let's move on to actually why building your own sales channel. So a lot of times now you would have actually clicked on skip ad, or the times have changed and we've all started blocking advertisements. Absolutely, we all have. So, but on the other hand, how many of us are actually following influencers? How many of us are following celebrities? We all are now consuming content that we want to see versus any promotional information that a brand is sharing. So we really need to invest in building our own brand, otherwise we will not be noticed. Now, coming to the point on why you need to diversify on marketplaces. So I'm sure we all are on marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, Big Basket, based on which industry you deal in. But as a consumer, just stop back for a second and think, how many times do you read the name of the seller when you're making a purchase? Do you read the name of the seller when you're making a purchase on any marketplace? We probably see who it's being fulfilled by, but we don't read the name of the seller. So while you are getting customers on marketplaces, you are not building your own brand name. So it's important to be on marketplaces to get the right set of customers initially. But in order to actually be sustainable for a long period of time, you need to have your own sales channel. Now, just moving on, how do you kind of get started with your digital presence? So at GlobalLinker, like I told you, we have over 20,000 plus sellers who are using the online store capability. I have been personally in conversation with them for over 4 years now, and a lot of them have shared insights, data, learnings about what worked, what didn't work for them. And I'm trying to collate all of that and share with you where you can be in your digital journey and how you can progress to the next step. But again, before we move forward, let me ask you a simple question. How many of you here shop online? And it can be anything. Do you shop online either on any marketplace or on an individual site, or just for your grocery or to order a pen? Do you shop online? Yes, yes, yeah, a lot. Okay, I think over at least 95% of us shop online. No, you don't shop online. There are some no's I can see. Very few, but a lot of yeses. Okay, so if you are shopping online, are you also allowing your customer to shop online? No matter what product or category you deal in, are you allowing your customer to shop from you online today? No, no, I can see a lot of no's now. No. But I'm just trying to leave you with the thought that when you want to experience shopping online, why aren't you allowing your customers to have that kind of an experience? Okay, so go back, think about it, and then maybe you can see that where you are, how to get started. But let's move on to the digital roadmap or the 5 stages of digitization. So honestly, first you have to lay the foundation by creating an online presence. Then you build it by staying active. Then you promote your products, your services, you talk about it, you tell the world about your business via either by social media, by digital marketing, using SEO, SEM, so on and so forth. And then you scale up by relying on the data and the trends that is coming about. Then you start working on how do I increase profits, then how do I reduce costs. And at the end of all this, you try and sustain it by getting repeat customers, by earning goodwill, by building loyalty. So this is the digital roadmap. And I know that most of you might argue that I have been doing business traditionally for decades now. My customers come to my physical outlet and purchase my goods. So why should I move online or partially or even completely? So let's take an example and see why it might be critical for you to partially, if not completely, move online. But I see there's Mr. Harish Yadav in our audience today. Let's say Mr. Harish has a store of footwear in Mumbai, in Andheri, and he gets 100 customers a day. Harish is making profits, and he really wants to expand now because he knows that he's figured something right. He's getting 100 customers a day. People are buying his products. But one fine day he thinks that why 100? Why not 1,000? How do I reach 1,000? Any thoughts on how Harish should reach 1,000 customers a day from 100 customers a day? What should he do? Market his products, okay? How do you market? Sending brochures, promotion on FB, reels on Insta, online marketing, social media. Okay, but let's say now here there was somebody who said that run discounts. Okay, so let's say Mr. Harish runs a 50% discount and 200 people start coming to him every day instead of 100, but he's still not reached the 1,000 mark. What does he do now? His profits actually have gone down because he's given a 50% discount. Price action, Instagram, YouTube. Okay, so what he then does, like Pranav suggests, he actually creates an online store, a digital catalog of his products. And now he realizes that on Tuesday, between 5 to 6 p.m. or 5 to 9 p.m., let's say, he is not getting customers. On Tuesday, between 5 to 9, he's not getting customers, but on other weekdays, he's getting a lot of customers. He's getting 200 customers a day. This analysis is far simpler and more efficient when it's done online. He then says that, okay, I have now tried a lot of things. Let me run a 50% discount only during Tuesday, 5 to 9 p.m. because I'm not getting customers then. That's when he uses data to actually grow his business. And now he's able to actually, that's right, he uses promotional codes on the website. He uses schemes. He kind of tells customers that you shop now versus you don't shop now. And he gets his consistent repeat customers at any point in time, but he attracts a new set of customers during his discounted run. So let's say now Mr. Harish's friend Pranav comes to his store and tells him that, wow, you've now created your online store. Instead of getting customers from Andheri around 2 to 3 kilometers, you've now expanded pan India and you're getting orders from Nagpur, from Hyderabad. But I started 2 years back. I went through this journey. And I'm now getting orders from Africa, from Australia. I've gotten into exports. So that's the kind of potential, or that's the kind of reach that you can have when you grow out of your physical domain. Again, just trying to make you understand the importance of going online, of allowing your customers to purchase from you online. Let me also now quickly move on to a digitization index that we've created to factor in the various stages that you as a business might be at and how you can grow. So there are various business functions ranging from logistics, marketing, sales, accounting, various functions. All you need to do is at the end of the session, jot down where you are in your journey. Do you have a website? If no, then create a basic one, then move on to actually creating an online store. Do you have a logo? If not, then create an ad hoc logo, or then move on to a professional logo. So first jot down in the various functions where you stand today, and you'll be then able to see how easy it is for you to progress step by step. Let's say you don't have social media presence. Create your pages, then look at how often will you frequently post, or then look at, do I then move into paid promotions? Do I then actually create a social media store? Am I allowing people on search engines to search for me? So no matter where you are, you need to start being more digitally active. You need to allow your customers to purchase from you. You need to allow inquiries to come in. You need to integrate payment methods. You need to allow your customer to get their product at their doorstep by paying online. And it's important, no matter where you are, to move ahead. Now let's take an example of another business function. So you are tracking data efficiently. You've created an online store, or are you or not allowing your B2B customers to transact from you? So a lot of businesses, manufacturer to distributor to retailer, today still follow the traditional format where the salesperson goes to the distributor's office, shows them the catalog, writes down the order, comes back to the factory. Let's say there are errors then happening where the salesperson has written 30 products, but they read the 3 as 8 and they send 80, then there are 50 returns. So a lot of errors can be removed the minute you digitize even your supply chain. In fact, we at GlobalLinker have a product that can help you do that. So if you're a business who wants an exclusive call to or a demo to understand how that can work for your business, you can drop a message in the chat box and I'll have a call arranged post the session. But just to give you an idea, let's say you are a manufacturer of a pen and you have 100 distributors of these pens, and each distributor has 1,000 retailers. Today, you don't have visibility of who is your end customer, when they purchase, how often they purchase, because all that data lies with the retailer. And the retailer doesn't pass it on to the distributor doesn't pass it on to the brand. So the minute you digitize your business as well as help them digitize their business, you will have visibility in this chain, as well as you're able to set parameters using our product, which basically every distributor has a customized credit limit, they have customized discounts, they have customized minimum order quantities. No distributor is able to see what the other distributor is doing. All your manual processes are then made efficient online. So again, if you're interested in knowing about this, then you can drop a message in the chat box and I'll have a call arranged. But I'm just going to leave you with, again, the thought of how important or critical it is. And I can't emphasize more on the time is now. If you've not started, then start now. If you've started and you're somewhere in your journey, there's still, the sky is the limit, and there are various steps in reaching your castle. So it's important to lay the bricks. I will actually stop here for a detailed Q&A section or a round, and feel free to ask any of your questions. I will also just drop in my contact details in the chat box. Happy to answer any of your questions post the session as well. We have an exclusive giveaway as well today, which basically is that you post about today's session on any of your social media channels. It can be Facebook, Instagram, it can be even GlobalLinker, but post about feedback about today's session for others to know about how you benefited. And you will be shortlisted for an exclusive one-on-one review of your online journey of your business. If you haven't created your profile, we'll help you build that. If you've started your online catalog business, we'll help you build on that and how you can integrate various payment gateways, logistics partners. If you would want to be a part of a marketplace, like an exclusive marketplace by Federation of Indian Export Organizations, which allows you to start exporting your products online, we will help you become a part of that platform. So if you want to win this giveaway, it's as simple as just posting feedback on any of your own social media channels, and then share the URL or the link with me on either my email or my phone number, and we'll be happy to shortlist you. The idea of the giveaway is to add value to your business. So do make the most of this opportunity. We'll now quickly just go on to the Q&A section. Do we also get leads from India only or outside as well, Mr. Harish Yadav? Let me actually share my screen and show you a portal of how you can get leads from across the world and not limited to only India. One is, of course, when you go on to GlobalLinker, like I told you on the connections section, it is not only from India. The people on the platform range across the world, so you can make business connections everywhere. But also there is an exclusive portal called the Indian Business Portal. It is an international trade hub where Indian exporters or Indian sellers meet foreign buyers. So you can list your products on this portal, ranging in no matter which category you are in. In fact, you can also allow them to send in an inquiry if you're a B2B business, or if you don't want to show the price. So here you can see this business is inviting inquiries while some are asking to purchase. There is a special focus on geographical indicators or GI tagged products on the portal. In fact, here you can see here there's a UK buyer looking for diced onion. There's a Middle East buyer looking for soda ash. All you need to do is fill out the form and allow them to interact with you. So if you are interested in being a part of this portal, again, drop in a message and we'll be happy to add you in. In fact, we have live training sessions every single day on how you can be a part of the Indian Business Portal, how you can create your online store. I will put in the URL in the chat box where you can join these live sessions at 7:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. In fact, I'll request my colleague Adnan to send in that in the chat box. Can outsiders use this portal to get international buyers? 100%. It is a curation of various countries. It's, if you are somebody attending from India, there are people today who are also attending from Philippines, Abu Dhabi. So it's not restricted to India. I hope that answers your question. Will you share the recording of this session? Yes, if you did register for this session using your GlobalLinker profile, you will automatically get the recording of this session post this. And also you can also go on to our YouTube channel and you can see the recording. My colleague Adnan has posted where you can join the daily 7:30 p.m. Monday to Friday sessions in digitizing your online catalog. Any queries, right from promotion management, how do I upload a product, how do I delete inventory, how do I change pricing, anything at all you can ask during these sessions. Okay, so I can see again, like for example, Mr. Dhiren Shah has posted about his business, what their services is in the chat box. That's the right way to do it, to invite certain businesses to see about it. But building credibility, I know that you now deal in social media, let's say, or website development. But if you were to write articles about why it's important to do social media or how one can do it, giving tips, tricks, all of that on your GlobalLinker profile, there will be a lot more businesses who will want to interact with you, who will want to explore the range of services that you offer. So go ahead and use that. Can outsiders use this portal to get international buyers? I don't understand what do you mean by outsiders use this portal, but in order to be listed on the internet on the Indian Business Portal, you need to create an online store via your GlobalLinker profile. So as long as you have a GlobalLinker online linker store, you will be able to link to this portal. Can outsiders use this portal to get international buyers? Yes, definitely. Are there any other questions? Did I miss anything in the chat box? Will there be any SEO done by GlobalLinker to these foreign buyers? SEO will be done as well as promotion with various embassies across the world will be done, not by primarily GlobalLinker, but by the expert Federation of Indian Export Organizations. So don't worry about that, but that does not mean that you just link your business and it basically also means that you need to do your own SEO for your own store, not just be dependent on the SEO that's happening on the marketplace. Okay. I haven't built any website on GlobalLinker as I already have my company website, but I'm posting products and service images and also submitted my article, but didn't get any response. May I know that is there any mistake that I'm doing? Mr. Debraj, I would request you to send me an email with your business profile as well as the activity that you've done. Let us review it and come back to you about what you can improve or if there are any mistakes that you're doing. Again, it's not that it happens over a long period of time. Business with new people happens over a period of time. Pranav, I can see you've sent your email ID. Do express the product that you're interested in knowing about. I'm also just resending my contact details because I can see some personal messages asking about that. Okay, so are there any final questions, or we might wrap up the session today? Also, it will be nice if you use the chat box to tell us what are the kind of topics you would want to know about next time. Is there anything in specific that you want to learn? We do a lot of webinars about SEO, and there are various external experts also that come in and talk about various domains. So if there's something that you'd like to know, business growth, Pranav says, we'll factor that in. If there's anything else, please let us know. Okay, so if there are no further questions, then okay, I can see something come up. Can we know basic export documentations and registrations explained on GL on GlobalLinker for our products? So in relation to export documentations, you could actually become a member of Federation of Indian Export Organizations for these documentations, for learning how to do export. Or consume content and articles that are being posted, which will help you understand, or even register for any courses or events that talk about this in this particular domain. So I hope that answers your question. Got it. Okay, thanks. Anything else? Any further questions? It was genuinely very nice to meet all of you here today. Thank you for spending 1 hour of your precious time to learn about how you can grow your own business. Hi, Malvika. We work in the domain of no code. Could you help me? How do I improve my reach? Again, I would invite you to be a part of the giveaway. All you need to do is post a little about this session. I will have an expert shortlist you for this, where they actually analyze your profile, understand what you're doing wrong, suggest to you what you can improve, how do you increase your reach. Because with this minimal information, I would not be able to share a lot of inputs here. So do make most of that opportunity, Sri Rama. Thank you so much for attending today. My pleasure, absolutely my pleasure, and thank you for joining in. We have a lot of sessions lined up. Do look out for these in the event section that I spoke about. Thank you.